you can have the best contractor in the world, but if you don't have a good design and good plans to build from, it doesn't really matter. And so I think for me, the big takeaway from can I just use a contractor or do I have to have an architect conversation is that legally, yes, you can use a contractor for certain things, but 99% of the time, they do not have the skill set that's needed to create a building that feels good, that looks good, that is right. That's their expertise is execution. It would be almost like, I don't know what, like you have car designers and you have people who build the cars, right? And obviously there's a lot of conversation between the two, but it would be like going to a mechanic and be like, okay, design me a car. It's like, what are the chances that the thing you design is going to be awesome and aerodynamic or
it's like,
whatever?
Technically on paper, I could do it because I have all the tools, I have the shop, I know cars really well.
Yeah.
But that's not really what I do.
It's different.
Right. And, and depending on the builder too, a lot of them, they're very busy people. They don't really want to have to deal with you and your question and your small worry and your stress. They're not here to hold you and, hold your hand along the way. Yeah. They're here to get shit done. Right. Yeah. And if you need someone to hold your hand or guide you through or help you take the time or the thinking that you need, maybe working just with the builder isn't something that you should be doing. Maybe you need an extra person.
At the very least, if you have a project, really talk to an architect and they can help you figure out some of the nuances of these questions.
Have a list of 5 basic questions. Give them a call for 15 minutes.
But I do think that your point about a lot of contractors saying, I have a designer in-house, that's something everyone should take note and really, really listen for when they're talking to a builder, because
you should. And if they tell you they have a designer in-house, well, you should ask to meet with that designer, because that designer is the person who's going to design your house. Yeah. And that's the person you should directly interact with, not through a builder. And you should make sure that, and if you do that, then you're going to see clearly if this person is designing or if this person is just drafting, meaning doing technical drawings.
Yeah.
Drafting is a different job than design. And again,
drafting it falls in the realm of execution as opposed to critical thinking, creative thinking, and designing. So in this kind of these three parties, these three professionals, the interior designers and architects are kind of on one side and contractors are on another. I mean, same for interior designer, like you would hire an interior designer to obviously do design. Then you have to hire someone else to execute it, right? Like the guy who's going to do the millwork, the cabinet maker, or the guy who's going to install the new flooring or whatever. It would be the architect versus contractor thing we just talked about would be similar if you had an interior scope, you had an interior designer, you're like, okay, I'm not going to use my interior designer to make any design decisions. I'm going to go to the millwork guy and the guy who installs the carpet and be like, okay, person who installs flooring, what do you think I should use for flooring? Does it look good? And he's going to be like, well, I've done this before, but this is not my job. I install, right? The same kind of thing applies to builders, like the builders build, right?
I mean, again, if the technical side and the creative sides are different muscles,